The Guardians in the 7th inning last night must have all had some 5-hour energy shots because they came back to life. And, Bo, you tweeted, it could be a season-saving win with that comeback over the Royals. Do you want to expand on why you thought last night's win was so crucial to the Guardians saving their season?
Well, I think if the Guardians end up winning the division, and there's only, 28 games left, I believe.
Oh, there's more than that. Is it really that?
I think it's 28. You want to double-check that, Mike?
Fast.
I believe there's 28 games left in the season for the Guardians. On yesterday's show, we talked about all the things that are going wrong for the Guardians. It's been just horrible lately. And you had lost 3 straight to Kansas City. And, in fact, Kansas City technically had the lead in the division because they had the tiebreaker when the teams were tied. And 4 weeks from now, because the regular season ends 4 weeks from Sunday, if the Guardians win the division, we are going to look back and we're going to point to this game because not only would the Royals have just had a 4-game sweep in Cleveland, they would have taken a 1-game lead in the division. And instead, the Guardians rally back, get off the deck, a team that had shown no life offensively at all for a couple of weeks. And those last 3 innings, they rally back. And instead of being down 1 off a sweep at home, they're now up 1, avoided the sweep, and now you got Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh right now is playing as bad as anybody. The Cubs just scored. The Cubs just scored, I think, 51 runs against, or 40-something runs against them in 3 games. And the Cubs offense has not been great either. It's been similar to the Guardians in a lot of ways.
Pittsburgh blew
so
that game.
Now you have a chance to, the Pittsburgh blew a game to the Cubs yesterday.
They was up like 10-3.
Yeah, 10-3.
And they lost 14-10.
So hopefully the Guardians at home against Pittsburgh can now get on a roll and maybe even build up a lead. I don't know who Kansas City's playing this weekend, but maybe even build up a lead before they go to Kansas City.
Do they play the Yankees after us?
I don't know. Mike, it's 28 games left, right? Okay, yeah.
That is correct.
Yes.
I thought it was a big win for him too because
that was huge.
I was sitting there watching it because I was on the radio when it came on yesterday, and I had said to my co-host, I said, if they got anything to them, if the Guardians got a pulse or if they got some
cojones,
they would find a way to win this game because it's that serious. It's like a World Series game to me, and I ain't gonna lie, at the beginning I was like, oh my goodness, man, they about to really lose this game. And the spark to me came when Bo Naylor hit the home run. I was like, Bo Naylor has been a name that I haven't said in like a month. And when he did that, I said, okay, they got some pulse to him. I thought they had some fight for sure. But when they came back and took the league, I was like, all right, I was with Bull. I was like, this was a very key game. Because like you said, if they would have got swept at home, like that's like a dagger. Like they just completely spit in your face. Like, hey, what Roquan Smith said about the Browns, we gonna come to their house and go in their refrigerator and kick right. That's what Kansas City was doing to them, man. For them to have some fight back to them, I was like, all right, so it's still there. Y'all still care, and it's still there. And I think you're right. When we look back, if they win the division, this will be the game that a lot of people are going to be like, that was the one. This might be the turning moment. They might get the bats back.
And before you go, Jason, the Royals are not playing the Yankees, but they are playing the Astros, who are playing really well.
Really
good. And the Dodgers.
Royals have a brutal stretch
well, the Guardians have the Dodgers, too.
The Astros, then.
Oh, that's what I meant. The Guardians play the Dodgers and the Astros to end the season.
No. I'm saying the Royals are playing the Astros this weekend.
The Royals schedule goes Astros, Guardians, Twins, Yankees. That's their next 4 series.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the difference between being 1 game down and 1 game up, when they're playing the Pirates and the Royals are playing the Astros, that could be all the difference.
Well, the fact that the Royals have the tiebreaker is huge.
Yes.
So that's why it's important. I can't say that it's going to be the victory of the season because they still have, 3 more in Kansas City and 4, I'm talking Cleveland now.
Yeah, 4 more in Minnesota.
4 more in Minnesota, and that's going to determine it. But certainly it stopped the bleeding, which they needed. I was in the clubhouse yesterday before the game. I was working on a different piece that, yes, I will write.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Allegedly.
I'm
next
just saying.
week, I will write it next week.
We'll see it. It'll be out in 6 months.
I will give a little bit of a tease. It's on Gavin Williams. It's really interesting. On Gavin. Gavin's fastball has been hit harder. He's throwing it harder in August than he ever has. and it's being hit harder than ever. That it's really interesting.
6 months from now, check it out.
Would you stop? Next week. I will write it next week. I was talking to a couple guys in the clubhouse yesterday, and they're like, there is no panic in here. There is no fear. Like, it's the same clubhouse today as it was when they were hot in May and June. It's the exact same. And you can argue if that's good or bad. Maybe there should be a little bit more sense of urgency, but these guys are not rattled by the fact that they've gone from, a 9-game lead to a 1-game lead now. And they just have this confidence about them that they're still going to, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because I do think we don't need to go rehash all the changes, but I do think that and September 1st is coming. Like, I think they are going to get reinforcements here on September 1st.
Rosters expand to 28.
Yeah, we'll see who they bring up and how much they play them. But they do need a spark. Like, one victory doesn't solve everything. And hopefully they can. I never expect a sweep. It's baseball. I don't expect them to sweep the Pirates, but I do expect them to take 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates bullpen's a disaster.
Yeah.
A disaster. And the Guardians have to take advantage of it because you're missing their 2 best pitchers.
You have to win 2 of 3.
Wait a minute. You say the Pirates bullpen is a disaster?
Awful.
Good. That means John Kinsey. Put the camera on me, Steve.
Oh, boy.
John Kinsey, we need to listen. We running out. 28 games. I need 8 more of them things.
Yep.
So I can look at Jason in the eye and tell him that I am the baseball expert. So take advantage of this Pirates weekend.
He's got to average 2 home runs every 7 games.
That's fine.
I tell you, I was in the press box the other night, and Zach Meisel was like, Tyvis might be right about that 20. And I was like, don't you dare!
I'm just saying.
Don't you dare!
Listen, he get 2 this weekend. It's happening.
There you go.
Where are the Guardians on his bold prediction?
Where are they? They were 14th, and they was like.
Right, I'll tell you right
now. But they've been hitting homers, though, so they should have moved up to 12.
They tagged a few yesterday.
The Guardians in home runs
12
are 15th on the dot.
Oh, my God!
That's still the top half.
It is the top half.
If they fall one more spot, they're out of it.
You know what? I'm feeling so generous. I'll even give you 16. If they finish 16, that's pretty good.
Well,
that's
they're 3
enough.
ahead of Seattle for 16 and 6 ahead of Colorado for 17.
Yeah, well.
How did this happen?
Because
y'all got to get the bats going again.
They should never have been as high as they were.
Don't say that.
In the beginning of the year, we said they needed to be middle of the pack to be in the mix, and they've been middle of the pack.
They've been hitting homers though. Like I'm shocked that they dropped.
Yeah.
Who's 14?
How many are they behind the 14th team, Mike?
They are 1 behind Kansas City, who's 14th. 2 behind San Diego, who's 12th. Who's tied with Cincinnati at 12.
All right, so they're only 2 behind from being a 12. Yeah. So they could,
come on.
They could end up anywhere from 12 to 17.
John Kinsey should be batting every day.
Let's go, John Kinsey. But yeah, so the one negative from the game yesterday is Tanner Bybee was bad again.
Yeah.
He's not pitching well.
Yeah.
Bullpen was great yesterday. Everybody did their job in the pen. I think they gave up 3 hits as a bullpen.
Is that the thing that when they get to the playoffs, does that bother you?
I mean,
because him and Gavin is like
he and Gavin. It's funny because when Boyd made his first start and then Cobb made his second start, it was a really good trip around the rotation, and we were all like, "All right, here we go." And ever since then, the rotation outside of Lively has been bad.
That's funny.
Boyd's been fine.
Yeah.
But your 2 most important starters have not pitched well.
So you in the playoffs, who's your top 4?
It's still Bybee Williams for me, 1, 2.
Yeah, Bybee Williams,
really?
Lively is 3, and right now
I don't feel great about that.
Yeah, how could you feel great about it? They're not pitching well.
But I mean, 28
we got
games
3 weeks to turn it around.
5 more starts for each of them.
Come on,
yeah,
man, let's go.
It would be Bybee 1, Gavin Williams 2,
Lively
3, and Cobb 4.
Well, right now Boyd 4. I mean,
Cobb's coming back this weekend.
You need to cut this boy hate out. I told you.
It's not hate.
Yes, it is. I told you that he was going to be just fine.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's never been fine.
He's
in
been
his
a journeyman.
career.
He's been a journeyman.
Fine.
He's been okay. It's something about the Guardians.
Well, that's true.
That just If Lively's doing it, boy, he could do it.
Well, they're only doing it with journeyman right now because Tristan McKenzie's a disaster this year. Logan Allen's a disaster this year. And Bybee and Williams have both been disappointments.
Well, McKenzie.
What is Bybee's ERA now in the season, Mike?
McKenzie's dealing with an injury.
3.65.
3.65?
Yeah, 3.65 is a 1.13 whip.
That's actually better than I thought, but it's not great.
You can't.
That's fine.
If you put real quick, I made the graphic yesterday, the pitching matchup, and it didn't change at all because Wacha and Bybee both gave up 5 earned runs.
Yeah.
They have nearly identical numbers in record, ERA, whip, and Bybee has a few more strikeouts. But essentially, Tanner Bybee's been Michael Wacha this year, and Michael Wacha is not an ace.
No,
Bybee's not an ace right now.
He's their ace because that's all he's got.
He's not an ace.
But he's not an actual. And I thought he would. Like
I thought he would. I thought he and Williams would both pitch like aces or close to it. They haven't.
So you lost your.
Oh yeah, he's not getting Cy Young.
Now, in fairness, Tarek Skubal,
unless I break into the voting,
is the only pitcher in the American League, Jason, that has an ERA under 3, I believe.
Starter,
yeah. Skubal's the only one.
I will confirm.
Corbin Burns has not pitched well lately.
Skubal will.
He got hit up his last.
It is interesting who's going to win the Cy Young.
That's correct, Bull, by the way.
Right? Who's got the second best ERA among starters? Is it what's his name? Logan Gilbert.
Logan Gilbert 3.09. Now there's National League pitchers with sub 2, but
in the American League,
they said Chris Sale's
going to win the Cy Young unless he gets blown up in the last few weeks.
I think Skubal should win.
Yeah.
Zach has a really interesting story coming out on Class A's case.
Yeah, we talked about it on Monday.
Oh, did you on the podcast?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I personally could never vote for a reliever to win Cy Young.
Right.
I just can't. Even as great of a year as he's having.
Right.
It's messed up.
You're throwing 1 inning.
It's messed up,
You're
Jason.
throwing 1 inning.
One great inning.
It is great.
So that's
1 inning.
I think he could finish second reasonably.
I think he will finish second. I think he probably will.
It's
because
hard.
there's nobody else that's a great candidate.
The only argument for him over Skubal is that the Guardians are playoff contender and the Tigers are not.
What is his record?
But I don't hold that against the pitcher.
How many saves?
39, 38. 38.
That's not a record-breaking number.
We've got 25 games to go.
it doesn't even lead the league.
Class A?
Hensley has 40. Class A has 39.
Well, Hensley's in the National League, but it doesn't lead the majors.
Well, I just mean, lead the majors. That's what I meant. His ERA, I mean, he's having a much better season than Hensley. Don't get me wrong. But technically, he does not lead the major leagues in saves.
You know what's funny is, like, as you talk about prospects and everything, and Skubal in Detroit, they had a big 3 prospect pitchers too, and he was number 3. It was Casey Mize, Matt Manning, and then Skubal was their 3rd.
Yeah, right.
Just
and
like
he's
Bybee.
way better than those other 2 guys.
And Bybee was 3rd here.
Espino,
Gavin, and then Tanner Bybee. And Tanner, to this point, has turned out to be the best of.
I want to see this Espino guy.
I don't know if he ever will.
He's pitched in like 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever will. Maybe I think he's a reliever at this point.
All right, so the Guardians and the Pirates.
Tonight.
Off tonight, then 3 game set with the Pirates. Too bad they're not playing the Pirates 4 games.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, go
6
ahead.
games.